Oh, hello there, Sean the Extra Guy here. So I was just fixing something. Who know? Who knew when you get a new monitor that all of a sudden the fucking audio settings change? Well, anyway, it's all good now. I had to restart OBS because of that fact. But yeah, so what I got was essentially I decided to go to the shops instead, to like electronics stores. They didn't have what I wanted at one of them, but at a place called The Good Guys, that's what the franchise is called, I saw a monitor on sale for $165. They didn't have any in stock, but they sold me the display model for $106. So the monitor is actually, I think it's like $199, and it's only a year old. Like the model is only a year old, so I got a pretty good deal. So yeah, $106 is not too bad. Especially for this monitor. It's a 120 hertz, 1080p, nothing special. Acer, but yeah, it's at least something good. At least as a stream, like for OBS and also for video editing, which I do, of course. So yeah, it's good for that. But yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Getting a good deal like that. But the fucking traffic on the way back. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, it's Friday, but it's like, it's not even like peak hour traffic. It was like lunchtime. So, you know, having to fucking like go, you know, get home on slow moving traffic on the fucking highway, because there's also, you know, there's roadworks, they're putting in the new highway, so why don't we see pics? Well, it's just a monitor. It's an Acer 27 inch? Yeah, 27 inch. 120 hertz, so I don't know. Look at the Acer monitors. I think it's like supposed to be a gaming monitor too, but I mean, I've already got a main gaming monitor anyway. So yeah. Like I said, it's mainly just for like what I keep OBS on, as well as video editing. So like I don't need anything fancy. Because yeah, like I said, I've already got this. I've already got my, you know, my 165 hertz 1440p monitor. That's not even a couple of years old. I think I got it back in 2024. It was replacing a monitor that decided to crap the bed. So yeah, this one's lasted me for that long, but yeah, the other one, which used to be my main monitor, before I got, which was a gigabyte monitor. Luckily the warranty was on that, because I got my full refund back on that one. But yeah, before that replaced it, yeah, that was my main monitor, the one that used to be my main monitor, the one that broke. And I showed you the pictures of it. Yeah, that, I don't know what the hell would have caused that. Like, but the funny thing, it happened between the time I went to the toilet and then got back. So, you know, Or was it the toilet, or was I doing something else? I think I might have been helping. Yeah, actually, no. I know what happened. I know what happened. No, I wasn't going to the toilet. I was, anyway, personal stuff aside. I won't get into that. Anyway. Well, let's just, you demand to see the monitor, so we as a community may drool over it. It's just a fucking monitor, dude. Anyway. The Dookie Nukie when the monitor broke. Anyway. The Dookie Mikey. Anyway, let's get on with this. We're going to be doing the final trial. If I manage to finish it within the next hour or so, I think probably we'll play something else, eh? But for now. Oh, I also realized getting this monitor, the brightness was slightly better. So I decided, well, I better improve my main screen. And yeah, my main monitor looks a hell of a lot better than it did. Because I think they obviously calibrated the monitor for sale. So I decided to fiddle with a few settings on my monitor to make it look better. Wait, hang on. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. March 23rd, 2:35 PM, District Court, courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impax's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? Surely it would have been a bad idea. Wouldn't have been a bad idea to let the judge in on the plan, right? Hey, Judge, can you stall for us until we figure out the location? But then, like, fucking On Guard would have been calling, oh fuck, I was about to call him Deathstroke. What the fuck? The Killer. Yes, he was calling Deathstroke. Yes, famous DC villain Deathstroke. Totally Capcom owns the rights to. But what you don't expect is Deadpool. Haha. Deadpool comes in and sweeps everything, and he just tells the judge. He just tells the judge everything, and then passes on to that you're all living in a video game. And no wonder nothing makes sense. Anyway, Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it? We need more time. We need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Carida. Mr. Carida? Well, well. It looks like Miss Impacts never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so that fact, because I think that's a typo, and so that fact remains unchanged. Yeah, that fact remains unchanged, not that facts remain unchanged. That is very awkward. There's been a number of typos like that. It's not often, but you do see them. I'm surprised no one ever actually, like... Yeah. Anyway. And so that fact remains unchanged. Excuse me. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. He had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that On Guard had no idea the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has started contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. On Guard to not have known it was a fake. Okay, what? I don't know. I might have screwed it. Hang on. I'm gonna find this out. Oh, it was the spy camera. God damn it, I was gonna present that. Fuck. I was like, I thought to check, just in case. But it was the spy camera. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. You kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth? Earlier you claimed that Mr. On Guard knew of the existence of this note. Because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. On Guard would have known that the victim had forged the note. So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. On Guard's motive for murder was is suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. On Guard monitored Mr. Carida 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. On Guard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Fucking hell. Mr. Edgeworth? Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? At this point, we're just doing theater. Edgeworth and Edgeworth and Phoenix are just doing theater. Order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who's dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engarde's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering. This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley to kill her to commit murder? That's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness? It's... Yes, go on. Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley the Killer. Oh, Mr. the Killer. Wait! Shelley the Killer? He's gotten so desperate that Shelley the Killer has come in to be a witness. You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this all right with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is all right to do this. Very well, then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? First of all, did he offer or did they find him? If they found him, then they also would have found Maya. But then if he did this, I swear to God, if he purges his own fucking client, that is just the dumbest fucking guy ever. Now then, witness. Your name and, occupation, please. Ah, okay. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer. I am a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm, and what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer would testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. Is Buzzy gonna say it?
Your Honor! Your...
Okay. Right. He couldn't even say it. Your Honor. Anyway. I mean, how can you prove that it's the killer?
You leave me no choice. As the circumstances have certainly spiraled, we need to take approach at a different angle. I call to the stand. You. Your Honor, I call you to the witness stand.
Excuse me. This trial is broken, Buzzy. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof you are, in fact, Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya. A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer. It looks like we have to run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream. Shelley the Killer. What's he going to say? There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be fucking hell. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please tell us your clients? Your clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry, go on. Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about my situation. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. The trust between you and your client? I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? Did he just admit that one of my clients has been accused of murder? That just means... What do you mean? The fact that we're having this conversation, the fact that he's here defending Matt on guard. Doesn't that just prove the point that he fucking hired the killer? We really wanted to go here. You need to, like, this is a lost cause, okay? You need to, like, cut your losses with this client. You know, like the sunken cost fallacy. That's essentially what you've been doing with Matt on guard. This is what the killer has been doing. He has a sunken cost fallacy now. He has to go all the way because he can't admit that, you know, maybe I've poured too many resources into this. It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more. Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. And that's the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. It seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? The gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, but would you care to die? Oh, no, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. That egomaniacal. It's no good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let anything bother you. Somehow that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience. Try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and closed, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. The trust between you and your client. So apparently we have to go through and fucking ask this again, like press him again. This entire fucking trial has been really retarded in that regard. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. These are the roles and duties these are the roles and duties an assassin and his client are to carry out. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another as the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? So then why hold Maya? Why not just like give Maya back and it's like, okay, this shit is over. You get fucked. Like just, you know, drop her off at the courthouse with a note saying, yeah, I ain't doing it. Your Your client, he can go to hell. Anyway. Now then, everyone. Do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You made it crystal clear that you value you made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness? What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Carida? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What? Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. I still don't get it why he's still defending his client now. Nah, he's a dumbass. Sunken cost fallacy. He's a fucking dumbass. What? This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned this witness. You, Shelley the Killer. My testimony is truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard, am I correct? What happened to not framing others? Yeah, apparently, yeah, apparently he is fucking framing anyway. So that's bullshit. That's a total fucking lie. Like I said, this is sunken cost. Yeah, you might be getting money from Matt on guard, but you might be working again. All I wish to do is help procedure. All I wish to do is help procedure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was fake. But most definitive at all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it's obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent. I seem to have caused you a bit of confusion. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, on guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And on guard, my client. I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this?
Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume.
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I think maybe I have to save here. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Alright, so I saved. So... Your Honor, the defense requests that... It's no use, I can't... It feels like I've lost my voice. Yeah, okay, that's not the moment. I think it comes later. Phoenix? I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt on guard is a killer. A murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I am no better than on guard. Even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten on guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. I'd be betraying his trust. His trust. I never thought about it until now. I trust him. I trust him?
Nice.
Just taking a sip.
Hello, Zedros? Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right.
But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in the And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer.
Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk to you. We would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need from me? What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done?
But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. Bah. Excuse me. My client did it to frame the... My client did it to flame... Fucking hell. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carrera was correct. What? Juan Carrera was dead. Fuck, I don't know how I fucked that up. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. Also, I should mention this, I didn't get much sleep last night, so I think I'm reading things wrong because of that. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
This is a most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now. However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
Buzzy to read from it. He will end up just having a stroke over every single sentence. Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here.
Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then...
I'll expose the lies in the oh-so beneficial testimony, I suppose?
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That makes two of us. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card? So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible.
You try to make things easy?
My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to to discover the body and enter this scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes. How much is your fee? I see you're also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial.
No. I'm not thinking of hiring Mr. Wright.
Yes?
You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think something like that? You are guilty. Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty.
Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not?
Your Honor, I do want you dead, but age will beat me to it, so I have better things to do.
Also, this one, I was gonna go, because Edgeworth said that's strange or that's odd. And I was thinking about this as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mrs. the Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered.
But how do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mrs. the Killer's supposed client thought that Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange.
Yes?
Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Sorry.
Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you.
Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well.
Your Honor, she can't have possibly placed the glass because my client Matt Nguarda is the one who did the murder. I think I misspoke. I'm drunk. Yeah, drunk. I had 5 barrels of pure alcohol right before recess ended. Boy, am I hammered. Anyway...
Anyway... He sounded a little hammered, too. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes.
So you physically met your client, huh?
That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
One week ago? Are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date, and my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why'd your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Carita's room. I would like you to retrieve that item from me. You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Was it? It was not important. Okay. What the killer said sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just his conjecture. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important.
Well then, witness, please continue.
Why does it say it was not important? It was very important. Oh, it's because I didn't do it right. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with the brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I've never taken a request by phone, by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? Oh my god, dude, we get it. Customers always right ass. My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That is when I thought I can trust this person as a client. Him? You trust him? Hmm? What, did you think Adrian Andrews was a guy when you met him? He doesn't know who Adrian Andrews is. He doesn't know who Adrian Andrews is. He does not know who fuck Adrian Andrews is. He thinks Adrian Andrews is a guy. There's the contradiction.
It's true. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
If I heard what I think I just heard now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Ah, really?
If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony.
Very well.
From the moment I saw him, I thought I could trust this person as a client. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible take. That is an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer? You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up about her. So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her? If you have ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Oh!
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following: that he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their request.
But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person?
Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client cannot have been Miss Andrews. Miss Adrian Andrews. What the f- Sweating shit. Who would have known one could sweat shit? Is it supposed to be oil? Why would it be oil? What the fuck is... I mean, look, I get it. It's supposed to be him sweating. But what the fuck? Yeah, you done fucked up now, Shelley. Sunken cost fallacy. You've sunk way too many resources into this client of yours. It is time to cut the fucking shit. All right. You just give the girl back. All right. You've made your money. Okay. There's no such thing as honor among assassins. It's a business that deals in death. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Contact cleaner. Shelley the Killer, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remembered something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. You know what I don't get? He's got the fucking, it's not like he's in the courtroom. He could say, lawyer, if you don't acquit the witness right now, if you don't give him acquittal, I will kill Maya. You better stop this shit. That would be, you know, the smart thing, but, you know, he's not very smart. Anyway. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and two or three other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony. Which means he is definitely lying. Yeah. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients?
Your Honor, no one uses letters anymore. It should be an email. This man is a fatty fat liar, or older than you, Your Honor.
Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come on now, let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Alright then, just cough it up and confess.
Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. Killer met with his client?
Okay, nah, I don't have proof. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof.
I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time.
Sadly for us, Your Honor, this is the nature of Mr. Wright of Wright and... Sadly for us, Your Honor, this is the nature of right and wrong. And why could you not meet certain clients? Recently, I've been receiving more requests. If I meet each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities.
Nice business opportunities?
On top of which the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail.
Old!
Who the fuck has ever called it electronic mail? Who in the fucking world has ever called it electronic mail that isn't a goddamn boomer?
Email. Electronic mail? Do you have such... Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope?
Ah, I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email.
Email?
In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot hands down. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and... two or three other things? Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Whether or not they're related to the case, whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait... Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Apparently, press further. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what those other jobs your client requests are. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Corita's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client? Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews. Shelly the killer? If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, this item should not have been inside it. This item? I see where you are going. Yep, that's where I'm going.
And where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Order! 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 So, that's where you two were going?
So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Which means...
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Oh! Order! 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright? I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No, that's enough. If that is your intention, then there is only one thing left for me to do. But wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise...
What are the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor?
I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... The prosecution... What has come over everyone, even you? The prosecution rests.
What is going on around here?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I end the trial here right now, then your client, Matt on Guard, will be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews will be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews will be charged with murder.
The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant Matt on Guard to the stand.
The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands.
Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent.
Huh?
Huh. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. On Guard? What an atrocious lawyer I have. Giving his own client up like this? And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap? It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer?
Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life?
This dumb motherfucker, yeah.
Okay, so I've saved. I think... Should I side with justice or save myself as well? You'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I see he's innocent, Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, and your client Matt on Guard is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right?
I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt on Guard, is not guilty.
We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt on Guard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. Matt on Guard is...
Objection!
Francisca von Karma! Matt on Guard is Francisca von Karma? Wow! Hang on. I just want to see what happened. So I guess it's not this that I have to... I think it's just the same either way. I just wanted to see if it was different.
We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt on guard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. See, he's sorry, like, either way. Matt on guard is...
Objection!
Francesca von Karma!
What are you doing here? Ow!
You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them, the final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy, he's fine, and his injuries are minor. All the items are inside this.
What a filthy old coat. What a filthy old coat this is.
That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Oh my God, Gumshoe's been chopped into pieces and put in his jacket. I can still hear the sound of his beautiful voice.
Hey, pal. Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court.
I'll just save again.
Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please.
These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
He must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Some are among the evidence we're about to see. There'll be something that will turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case, at least with me. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it'll be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francesca. Why is it a fucking Luger? I mean, the guy is just using a fucking, like, old... We're talking a weapon that was used in World War I. Yeah, they make modern versions of it, but... You know, and hell, they could be from World War II as well, but why the fuck is he using a fucking Luger? Is Max from Sam and Max involved in this? Probably. Turns out Max is the killer. His iconic... So I just read that. His iconic catchphrase, he always loved Monsters, Inc. I love Mike Sullivan and... I mean, I love Mike Wazowski. And Sully. Fucking hell. I don't know why I said Mike Sullivan. Yeah, anyway. So Wednesday for the freelance police. Sullivan, what? I don't know why, but I'm thinking, wait, is that his first name or his last name? Sully, you know? Because he was always called Sully, you know? Mike Wazowski and Sully, but I'm thinking... Yeah, because Sullivan is a family name. Anyway, I'm trying to think of fucking... Like, it's been years since I watched Monsters, Inc., so I'm just trying to think of the fucking, like, names. Look, we all know Steve Buscemi's in it. You know, and you have John Goodman. And there's two people in the, of the Big Lebowski. Oh my god. The Big Wazowski. Holy fuck. I can't believe I never thought of that. The Big Wazowski. Anyway. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francesca. It's probably not going to help us very much. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from the On Guard mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to... Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelley the killer is no ordinary man. Mike Sullivan and James Roswell. Mike Sullivan and James Brzezowski? You mean James Sullivan? James Sullivan. Mike Wazowski. Mike Wazowski. Anyway. Mike Wazowski. Alright. Okay, one of the items retrieved, the killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the during the crime? Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There was a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. Bellboy's uniform, one of its special buttons is missing. Yep. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? Alright, I gotta save. And what is that? And what is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure under normal circumstances, these items from Sherry the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is who is the client.
Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now.
Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix? I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But, no matter how you think about it, it's... Try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first? Make On Guard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If On Guard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way? Force the killer to end his contract with On Guard. If the killer were to no longer think that On Guard is as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? What does she mean? What does she mean? You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence, and that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who's yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, and maybe what will bring about the miracle in the end. Fucking hell. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no objections this time, correct?
So apparently, if we show the wrong evidence, I'm going to see how to get the wrong ending first. Alright, present anything but the right answers on the next 2 prompts for an achievement. Okay.
There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence.
I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then you want to show... Then who do you want... Then you want to show the evidence to that person?
Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance? Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible. To turn this situation around in one try. One try, that is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking on guard down at the same time. I would like to show a lot of heart. I see. And now, tell this court that one piece of evidence you'd like to show this person. I'd like to show my lawyer's badge. You see, Your Honor, a lot of heart. I'd like to show my badge. She needs to know that I am a lawyer. What the hell has that got to do with anything? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say to this. How about you, Miss Montgomery? Well, I was just shot, so I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense continue. What? Now, you know that no one understands what you are talking about anymore.
Your
Wait.
Honor, I have the badge. I'm always correct and will always be correct. So fuck you, I win.
That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant Matt on guard. There we go. Yay. 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 That is all. This court is adjourned. Hooray for the bad ending. And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. A day later, Phoenix was spotted drop-kicking Matt in the side of his head outside an Arby's. Here we go. Bad ending. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible. To turn this situation around in one try. One try? That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking on guard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to? God damn it! It's trying to fucking change the god. I pressed E. Fucking have to go through this.
I tried to press R, but I pressed fucking E. Alright, so the person I want to present to is Gumshoe? No. Shelly the Killer.
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person.
And it is the videotape, because Mr. Fuckwit decided to film him. You sure don't mean the innocent bellboy? They do look the same after all.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness.
Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier.
All right. It looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Does the radio have a camera, or was he watching on live TV? Yes. Now he's watching this live stream right now. Actually, you're on this tape. Me? There is a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. The connection is the business card and the client you gave mention. Yeah, he gave us the exact same client too, Adrian Andrews. So in a way, he kind of he was loyal to On Guard this whole time.
What? Is that true, Mr. Wright?
Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you. Isn't that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Madame Guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did? That is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to see one get his. Didn't trust your skills, wanted blackmail on you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. I don't believe anyone. Least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay. And even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? Oh! It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes, you told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. And what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. You know, fair enough. Assassins have awful hair, or no hair at all. The best ones have no hair. And a barcode to the back of their head. I see. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. I get it. This is how we'll turn... Fuck me. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright? Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item? Maya, I thought I'd never hear you again. Oh, thank goodness.
This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, actually, I'm sort of... I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness. And Miss Von Karma, where did that...
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. You fucked up. You fucked up. You goddamn dickhead. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You'll finally receive the clue you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Is this all right with you, Mr. Wright?
You have finally reached the end of a long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief.
Oh my fucking god, can the fucking assassin just say the name of the client to remind everyone who hired him?
You know, it would be easy to plead not guilty because he would just get the guy would get fucking killed by the assassin, so this dude deserves it. This dude fucking deserves it. Although it'd be funny to get a guilty verdict. Him being in jail would be better. It would be the assassin would kill him in jail. Man on guard. Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me, my wonderful self, guilty. Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it, you can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Guilty, 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 guilty. Holy fuck, he just scratched the shit out of his face. As soon as he gets into jail, though, he's going to be sharing a bunk with Bubba, and he's going to call him a pretty boy. And then he'll have a reason to have more scars on his face. Yo, you got a pretty mouth. And a pretty back. You gonna drop that soap? As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. I don't remember you helping out much in this trial. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard? I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his fucking hell. I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whipped leather right about now. But fuck me. God damn it. Why am I fucking this up? I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whipped leather right about now. Very good. And that was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I've felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. You know, we seem to make people smile a lot in this game. See, Ninja's already writing fan fiction as we speak. You can see there. What do you mean? What about the Ringmaster's daughter? She was always fucking smiling. But she was smiling at the end, though. You know, she was like, you know, she's gonna be more mature As long as Trilo and fucking Jeff Dunham. Okay, that's mean. Either way, you blame the clown. The clown is always to blame. Even in this trial, he's probably to blame. Anyway, it looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. I didn't even hear him say guilty.
Just to contradict your statement, you started making the fanfic story of Bubba and Matt's relationship. I only added a bit.
I created a prompt. There's a very big distinction. A prompt helps you write the rest of the story. See, you created more detail. I created pieces of dialogue to prompt you into making that. So, Uno reversal. You have to draw now. You have to draw 50 cards now. Fuck you. I'm out.
Thank you very much. Fuck you.
Anyway, March 23rd, 5:14 p.m. This is probably the very longest trial we've gone through. You were great out there. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. I guess she can sort of like psychically tell me things.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter.
I can't count the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? My client, man on guard, is he guilty or is he not guilty? Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer? Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. I mean, I was always gonna choose guilty, but I wanted to try and get the bad ending. Right? Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really? Pearls, you're telling the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in her patrol car.
Mystic Maya's safe. You did it. You really did it, Mr. Nick.
Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks. Oh. What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier, thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? How dare you? Fucking Greta Thunberg-ass comment. Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. For my own personal victories and guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But A man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then... it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach the one single truth. This I promise you.
The truth?
Yes. That's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory. Who ran away into the night.
Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool.
Miss Von Karma.
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect.
Miles Edgeworth,
you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma.
and neither am I.
It's over. It's all over. Francesca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Why do I want to keep it? Oh, I know why. It's to whip Blue.
Nick!
Maya!
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Nipple grab. She can do that to me, but I can't do that to her.
Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got on guard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. We sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Maya?
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're all right.
Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
All right. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick. Food. Grub. Chow. I'm starved. I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice, juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist. All right, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food!
I love how this is still fucking up. It's been 3 days. 4, probably. Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. I got a brain injury. Hey, pal, sorry to... Wait, did I already say that? I've got a brain injury. Hey, pal. Gumshoe, you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I got a brain injury. I'm really embarrassed. I got a brain injury. What's your name again? Writing Phoenix? Right, Renix fight? Shit. You know what The Rock says? He also smells what's cooking. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things.
A telephone pole? And it wasn't a red light that got him.
And it wasn't a red light that got him?
You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking.
Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai.
Thanks. Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bully Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now. Everyone gather around. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer.
Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. I got a brain injury. Hey, pal. How's it going? I got a brain injury. At least we can put this messy case behind us now. I got a brain injury.